Oh boy, map 11 of NoSp2. This is one, I don't know if I streamed this at all, actually. Definitely not the most difficult map by any means. Just an unassuming tech base, other than the 2000 monster count. I was a little worried, actually, since I'd played a very small amount of, I think it's called counterattack or mech attack, something like that. It's these massive tech bases, and yeah, I wasn't really looking for that sort of thing. As it turns out, the actual tech base is relatively small. Maybe it'll probably be like 500 monsters by the end, if that. Probably less, probably fewer. So a lot of the basic tech-based stuff ends up being pretty easy to deal with because we get that fancy chain gun that I'm so enthralled with. But the important part is, of course, and hopefully I'll put in the title if I remember, there's a big secret in this tech base. And that secret is like 6 things nested together that unveils a new weapon and a lot of enemies. And we'll get to that when we get to it. But for now, just enjoy some chill tech-based gameplay. I've been playing a lot of Wolfenstein the last 2 days. Part of that is because the DLC went on sale. And part of that is because I'm up to map 28. And it's really hard. If you're familiar with NoSp2, I hope you understand why, even after 2 sessions of playing it, I haven't beaten the level with saves. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Maybe. It's actually been pretty rare that we had to do an arch trial jump in this WAD. In my opinion, having you arch file jump to a soul sphere is really weird. Because arch files deal like 80 something damage, and soul spheres give you 100 health. So that's not that good of a secret. In my opinion, arch file jumps should really be megaspheres. But then again, you could just say, no, it's just a little challenge to do, and the soul sphere balances out. It's not meant to, like, give you health. So to that, fine. Honestly, you could see most of this level in, like, Plutonia, and it would be normal. I don't think any of this is super crazy. Even this room is more than manageable. It is all very tame so far. Should I play Doom 3 again? I don't know. I was so... It was fine. I don't know. A little secret over here. Alright. So we're actually at the end of the level. If you want to, you could do this tiny hallway fight, and you'd be done. You could just leave. I can't imagine the uvmax taking all that long. Yeah, that's it. That's the exit. But we do want all the secrets. There's a tiny thing at the bottom here, which hints that it's a secret. And that I did notice. I did know that was clickable. But I did need to look at the editor to find all of these switches. You have to press them all in order, and they're all timed, except the last one, which stays up. And when you get all of them, which I just did, or rather, when you get all of them except the last one, it leaves this spot open. No, when you get all of them, it leaves the last spot open, and they're all timed. Okay. So it takes us back over here, where we can take advantage of Doom monsters being bad at pathing. I like this sort of escalation of rooms. We're gonna see this sort of fight where it's like the exact same room here to the next spot, but in the next one, instead of rocket launcher, we get BFG. However, that one does lock us in, and the enemy forces are far more formidable. Wait, there's a game? Ninja Gaiden Sigma? Oh my gosh. All the weirdos can go for that. Oh my god, they came out with a Train Sim World 3. That's crazy, man. The chain gun is so good. It's so powerful. I mean, it's no plasma gun, but jeez. Okay. So now we're totally in secret area town, okay? This is only for cool kids. You wouldn't have even seen this room if you didn't get all those secrets. You do want to be pretty careful with the Hell Knights. You know, you don't want to be taking more damage than you have to. I try grabbing cells when I have 80 left, or just 80 is, you know, my tens digit. And, like, suppose one's digit would be 0, but obviously it'll be true. I didn't, like, do the math, but it seems like you will never have 80 as your, you know, second and third digit, unless you have an even digit in the front. So you might have 280 cells, you might have 80 cells, but you'll never have 180 cells. And that means if you're just looking for the 80s, you're not going to screw up grabbing extra cells, because bulk cells in this wad are 200 instead of 100. So having an even number is what you want. It's such an interesting use of arch files here, because they're not like these crazy, we make the fight super duper hard sort of guys. It's like, this is a pretty consistent difficulty fight where all of the enemies contribute. So you just have to be consistently good throughout. And I had a lot of runs end here. Not like a lot. This is still, I think you're able to tell, it's not the most difficult fight in the world. But certainly, it's one of the harder fights of this level. If you're silly, you can shotgun them, but I'm not waiting all day. Now we get some vials. You really gotta kill all of them at once. They revive each other, so you gotta do what you gotta do. You only have so many cells, and if they're able to break in, you're in trouble. So this will be the last time we're able to access this room. That's why I grabbed those extra items. Now, this guy. I did try both ways where I wanted him to infight and when I just shot at him, and it was more consistent to just shoot at him. I like sort of curling around to the left. It makes them move slower from the pathing. But I also want to be on the right because the wall is farther away on that side. So you do whatever. I don't know, man. Practice it. I did die in this room. To both the stair cybers and the first one. So, this is a pretty epic secret, honestly. This nested thing of 6 different switches or so that takes you into 2 secret fights, and then you get to this hell area, which will have, like, the weapon. So powerful. Take a look. Lots of megas. And the infinite rocket launcher. I try to get myself a good spot here so I can have everyone coming at me from one direction. The infinite rocket launcher is so fast that you can hold off this many revenants. It's really powerful. Really, the only thing that holds it back is that it's pretty ineffective against cybers. Which is why when the cyber demon shows up, well, I guess we'll see what I do. I don't remember if I ran away or I used BFG. It looks like I heard there were some enemies there, so I do this loop. I couldn't tell you why this works. I just discovered after some trial and error that you do want to jump out after a little while and then go back in. This underground hell area with the infinite rocket launcher is a tremendous area. So me understanding exactly how monsters move throughout it wasn't really going to happen. So you've probably seen this weapon before. It's used in both Legion and Spectrum of the Balls of Steel by A1s, and I'm pretty sure it's in his Balls of Steel community project. Yeah, that's ridiculous, right? That he just spawns right there. That could have killed me. And I realized I wasn't taking him down in a good number of shots, so let's just get out of here. So now we're panicking, and you can watch me be panicking. You hear how Doom Guy's ouch is cut off? That's because the infinite rocket launcher is a chainsaw replacement. The chainsaw usually has that sort of revving sound when you have it out, and that has a higher audio priority than the ouch sound. So even though either there's no audio file for it or it's just set to be quiet, the game is trying to play that audio file over the ouch sound. So the ouch gets cut off. Yeah, you really don't need to play this section perfectly. I mean, there's so many megaspheres. You have infinite ammo, right? We have the infinite rocket launcher. As long as you don't get stuck, you'll be okay. With that said, I'm getting pretty close to being stuck. And I know I only have so many BFG shots. There's no ammo down here. You know, it's the infinite rocket launcher room. They want you to use infinite rocket launcher. So any BFG you've got, it's only whatever BFG you brought in. Yeah, basically all the enemies are down here. Like it's been for the other levels, I have no idea if I actually have all the kills, because Woof and Lost Souls getting revived gets confused. So you'll see me be doing tons of laps just to make sure I get all the kills. And another thing is, to proceed, there are a couple extra waves. This is the main wave. But you want to be sure you've killed everything before trying to spawn more enemies. And I see there's a cyber demon down there because I see some rockets exploding that aren't from me. So I'm like, it's really dark, so I'm being extra careful. This is why you do want to be careful that everything's dead before you start the next wave. Because to do the next wave, you gotta kill a cyber demon, and I'm not BFGing that guy. No thank you. He's in such a tight spot. So, rocket launcher it is, and even though this thing's pretty quick, it's still a cyber demon, so it takes a lot. It's like 40 rockets or something. I think it's more on average, because a rocket is 90 damage average, right? So anyway, we hit the switch and spawns the next wave, which is chain gunners. Like we learned from Abandoned Map 4, the most important thing for chain gunners is to maintain distance. That's why the rockets were so effective then, and that's why they're so effective now. But again, there are lots of megaspheres lying around, so I'm not too worried about losing health. And I'm trying to stay somewhat closer to them than I would like otherwise, because of the pathing. If I'm really far away, then their pathing might pull them to other passageways. But I want all of them coming down this one passageway. Just keep things as simple as possible. Now, I've posted 2 levels now where I've used the infinite rocket launcher, but I'll still talk about it. On vanilla and boom, the infinite rocket launcher consumes shell capacity, and it'll go into the negatives. The infinite rocket launcher doesn't care. And your shell capacity, it doesn't really matter. Like, you're not going to use shells if you're using this thing. But I have tested it out a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there are more nuances. You can use your shells until the amount of shells you have doesn't satisfy the requirements to fire your gun. I.e., if you have 2 shells, you want to shoot the super shotgun, maybe you have negative 99 capacity, you can still shoot. But you can't then pick up more shells because the amount of shells you have is at least as many shells as you can carry, which is to say 2 is more than negative 99. And the normal Doom HUD freaks out. If you want to see more details about, or rather not more details really, but if you use the Boom HUD, which I don't usually use, but I probably should, it would let me see more of the screen, then it'll just tell you, and you'll have like negative hundreds and hundreds of shells capacity. So here's the final wave. It's Archviles far away. They're not going to target you other than Pain State, so nothing to worry about. Except, there is a Cybruiser behind them. It's just a Cybruiser, it's not a Cyber Demon, so it's not super crazy, but anytime there's a Cybruiser, an Annihilator, a Cyber Demon, you do have to be aware, hey, if it hits me, that's 1 or 2 hits and I'm dead. So, you know, you want to be careful. So, you gotta treat them well. And now I spend, what, 5 minutes checking the level to see if I killed everything because I'm still playing on Wolf. Yeah, I'm still looking around here. Anyway, that's the level. I think it's pretty good. A good intro to this very powerful item. Alright, looks like I'm leaving, right? Yep, there we go. We're gonna see a little bit more of this thing in the other levels, but not all that much actually. It doesn't show up that often. But yeah, that's all for now. I'll post this. Maybe I'll even record another commentary. I don't know. I have a bunch of them, right? I've done all the way up through 27, and this is 11, so I have to do another like 12 right now. Okay, bye.